Hey there, language learners. Welcome to Rapid English Podcast, where learning English is fast, fun, and effortless. Grab a coffee, relax, and dive into real practical English with us. Hit subscribe and let's get started.
All right, so get this. We're diving into this technique that could totally transform how you speak English.
Oh, yeah.
It's called the shadowing method.
Mm.
And it's all about learning like you did as a kid by listening and repeating. We've got a stack of research and expert insights on this.
Wow.
And I can't wait to unpack it all.
So what's fascinating is that shadowing isn't just parroting words.
Right.
It's about training your brain to process and produce English in real time, almost like you're syncing up with the native speaker's thought process.
So it's more than just mimicking, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're merging your voice with theirs, kind of like vocal karaoke, but with a brain-boosting twist.
Exactly.
Right.
And you know what's really cool? There's actual science behind why this works.
Really?
Studies have shown that shadowing activates the same brain regions used for speech production and comprehension.
Wait, so it's like a 2-for-1 brain workout.
Precisely.
Cool.
And the more you practice,
Yeah.
the stronger those neural pathways become.
Leading to more fluent and natural-sounding English. It's like building muscle memory, but for your language skills.
Okay, I'm already intrigued. Let's break this down. What exactly makes shadowing so effective?
Well, first off,
Yeah.
it dramatically improves your pronunciation. You're not just learning individual words. You're absorbing the subtle sounds, the rhythm, the intonation.
Right.
All those things that make a native speaker sound well native.
So it's like downloading an accent upgrade directly into your brain.
Pretty much.
I like it.
And because shadowing demands such intense focus,
Yeah.
it supercharges your listening skills too.
Oh.
You become attuned to the nuances of fast speech,
Right.
which is essential for understanding real-world conversations.
I see. So it's not just about speaking, it's about becoming a better listener, too.
Right.
That's a huge bonus.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
Shadowing builds fluency and confidence. By practicing thinking and speaking in English simultaneously.
Yeah. You start to eliminate those hesitations and pauses
Yeah.
that can make you sound unsure.
That makes sense.
That-
The more you practice, the smoother and more natural your speech becomes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it also reinforces your grammar and vocabulary organically.
Oh.
You're learning natural sentence structures and word usage in context
Okay.
without having to memorize endless rules.
Wow. So
Yeah.
it's like a holistic approach to language learning, hitting all the key areas at once. I'm starting to see why this method has gained so much traction.
It's definitely a powerful tool.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is that it's relatively simple to implement.
All right, so let's talk about how to actually do it.
Okay.
Where do we even begin?
The first step is choosing the right material.
Okay.
You want high-quality audio with transcripts. So podcasts, audiobooks, even certain YouTube channels are great options.
So basically anything with clear, natural-sounding English that also has a transcript to follow along with.
Exactly. And I'd recommend selecting material on topics that genuinely interest you. If you're engaged with the content, you'll be more motivated to practice regularly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Who wants to shadow something boring?
Right.
Keep it fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once you've chosen your material, listen to it once all the way through without speaking. This helps you get a feel for the speakers pacing their pronunciation
Right.
and the overall rhythm of their speech.
So it's like getting your ears warmed up before the real workout begins.
Precisely.
I like it.
Now, for the shadowing itself.
Oh.
Play the audio again and start speaking alongside the speaker, trying to match their pace and intonation as closely as possible. And here's the key.
What's that?
Don't look at the transcript.
Oh,
The goal is to challenge yourself to keep up with the audio purely by listening.
that sounds like it requires some serious concentration.
It does.
What if we feel like it's just too fast to keep up?
Don't worry, that's a common feeling when you're first starting out.
Okay.
Most audio players have a speed adjustment feature, so you can slow it down until you feel more comfortable. The idea is to gradually challenge yourself without getting overwhelmed.
So start slow and steady, kind of like training for a marathon, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect to run 26 miles on day one.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Another helpful tip is to record yourself while you're shadowing and then compare it to the original audio.
Okay.
This helps you pinpoint areas where your pronunciation might be off or where you're struggling with certain sounds.
That's a great idea.
Mm.
It's like having instant feedback on your progress. But let's face it,
Yeah.
there are always challenges when learning something new,
True.
especially a technique as unique as this.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest hurdles people face is feeling self-conscious or awkward when they first start shadowing. They think, wow, I sound really strange.
I can imagine that. It's like trying to sing along to a song in a language you don't fully understand yet.
Right.
It's bound to feel a little clumsy at first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But remember, that feeling is totally normal. Everyone sounds a bit robotic or unnatural when they first start. The key is to focus on matching the speaker's intonation and stress patterns, how they emphasize certain words and phrases.
So it's about capturing the musicality of their speech, not just the individual words themselves.
Precisely.
Okay.
Another common challenge is forgetting words or falling behind the speaker.
Yeah, that happens.
It's important to remember that the goal isn't perfect word-for-word repetition.
Gotcha.
It's about capturing the overall rhythm and flow of their speech.
That's a relief.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's more about mimicking the style of speaking, not memorizing every syllable.
Exactly.
Nice. And for those who feel like they just don't have enough time to practice,
Yeah.
remember that even short bursts of 10 to 15 minutes can be incredibly effective.
That's right.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
It means you can squeeze it in during your commute, while you're walking the dog, even while you're doing the dishes.
Exactly.
Cool.
The key is consistency. Make it a habit, just like brushing your teeth.
Gotcha. So we've covered like the basics and some hurdles.
Yeah.
Do you have any like power user tips to really level up this shadowing method?
Definitely.
Okay, cool.
One strategy is to vary the accents
Oh.
you practice with. This trains your ear to understand different pronunciation styles, so you're not thrown off when you encounter someone with a thick Scottish brogue or a fast-talking New Yorker.
Makes sense. It's like cross-training for your ears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another tip is to use subtitles.
Okay.
Initially, especially with trickier material, it helps you catch those tough words.
Right.
Then as you improve,
Yeah.
ditch the subtitles and rely solely on your listening skills.
Like training wheels for your ears.
Yeah.
Eventually you're writing solo.
I love that analogy.
Uh-huh.
And the most important tip, make shadowing a habit.
Okay.
Just like brushing your teeth every day.
Right.
Even a short session of shadowing can make a huge difference over time.
So it's not about cramming in marathon sessions, but rather integrating it into our daily routine.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And here's something people often overlook.
Okay.
Don't be a robot.
Oh.
When you shadow,
yeah.
try to match the speaker's emotion and tone.
Right.
It'll make your speech sound much more natural and engaging.
I can see that. I've noticed sometimes when I'm practicing, I get so focused on the words that I forget to actually feel what I'm saying.
It's a common trap.
Yeah.
But think about it. In real conversations, we convey so much through our tone of voice.
Right.
Are we excited, thoughtful, sarcastic? All of that adds layers of meaning.
So by mimicking those emotions, we're not just practicing pronunciation.
Right.
We're practicing how to express ourselves more authentically in English.
Exactly.
Cool.
It's about bringing the language to life, not just reciting words on a page.
Okay. I'm definitely going to work on that. Makes sense.
No.
Now, before we wrap up, are there any common pitfalls people should watch out for with this method? Okay, let's hear it.
One mistake is getting hung up on repeating every single word perfectly. Remember, the goal is fluency and naturalness, not becoming a human tape recorder.
So it's okay to miss a word here and there as long as you're capturing the essence of their speech.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Another pitfall is starting with material that's way too advanced.
Right.
If you're constantly struggling to keep up, you're more likely to get discouraged and give up.
Like trying to climb Mount Everest before you've even hiked a hill.
Yeah.
Best to start with something manageable and gradually work your way up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And finally, don't think shadowing is a magic bullet for instant fluency. Like any skill, it takes time and effort to see real results.
It's a journey, not a sprint, but a journey that can lead to some pretty incredible destinations.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
The shadowing method has the potential to be truly transformative for language learners, but it's important to approach it with realistic expectations and a healthy dose of patience.
Makes sense. It sounds like shadowing is more than a technique. It's a way to like rewire your brain for fluency.
That's a great way to put it. It's about training your mind to think and speak in English naturally and effortlessly.
And the best part is, it's fun and engaging.
Right.
No more like boring textbooks or endless grammar drills.
Exactly. It's about immersing yourself in the language, experiencing it, feeling it, and ultimately making it a part of who you are.
I love that. So for our listeners who are ready to embark on their shadowing journey, what's like the one key takeaway you want them to remember?
The most important thing is to start.
Okay.
Find an audio clip you enjoy.
Right.
Hit play and just begin.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry about perfection.
Okay.
Just focus on the process and allow yourself to have fun with it.
I think that's great advice for anything new you're trying to learn.
Yeah.
Not just language learning.
Absolutely. And remember, every time you shadow, you're training your brain, building those fluency muscles, and getting one step closer to your goal of speaking English confidently and naturally.
Imagine having smooth, effortless conversations in English. That could be you with the shadowing method.
Absolutely.
Go find an audio clip, hit play, and start your journey to fluency today.
Happy shadowing.